Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Pro Tier. Tonight we are taking on the 4.361 kilometer with 14 corners and 3 DRS zones at Canada in Montreal. I am the Johnny Damon. I am your host tonight, and we will be jumping right into short qualifying here tonight. We got a short qualifying 50% Grand Prix. I'm going to pull up the points for these folks here in the standings. Go over the top 10 for you all. We got LB the GOAT leading the standings with 273. Celos with 198, 196 for Natural in third, 174 for Comacopa in fourth. Fifth is Raptor with 143, 141 with Mr. Miller de Moonster with 139, Osmanian Devil with 131 in eighth, Peak Hour in ninth with 127, and Tyler Modern Tie with 91 in 10th. That is your top 10. In the meantime, roll over your constructor standings. We got the Red Bull at the top with 304, Mercedes with 287 in second, 280 for Ferrari in third, the Sauber in fourth with 269, Williams fifth with 247, McLaren 165 in sixth, Haas 164 in seventh, Alpine 158 in 8th, Aston Martin 9th with 78, and your Racing Bulls with 10 in 45. Wow, they have 45 points in 10th place. In the meantime, we are making our way onto the circuit. Let's pull up who we got here. Mercedes. Currently out is Modern Ties, the first one out with LB the GOAT in second place. Or second car out on circuit. You do see some folks here on the in the leaderboard. Trackside is making his return tonight here in the Pro Tier. Racing in the Racing Bulls there down in P12. And it looks like LB the GOAT is going to proceed his way into front past Modern Tie. So he is going to be taking over the first lap of qualifying. Off the exit of the hairpin and down the Casino Straight we begin, heading towards the Wall of Champions. So into Wall of Champions, very easy to lose the car here if you don't take the apexes properly. Now he's going to make his run in towards the start finish line, heading towards turn 1, and then barrage Senna of turn 2 now. Off the exit of turn 2, back on the throttle, up through the gears, gonna burn a little bit of ERS, cut over the apex, very easy to invalidate here around the Canadian circuit, and he sets a 19.6 for sector 1. Modern Tie there in sector 1. I'm not exactly sure what he set, but LB the GOAT currently opens up that DRS flap heading in towards the nice little chicane here of 7 and 9, and trackside unfortunately has crashed out of qualifying there off the exit of turn 4, and that is going to be a very unfortunate start for trackside after making his return tonight. Through turn 9, or down the Casino Straight, heading towards turns 13 and 14 we go. And off the exit, burning the last remaining amount of ERS he's got across the start finish line, 110.5. So pretty solid lap from him to open up qualifying. Modern Tie is going to dive into pit lane, made a mistake. Next one to come towards the line is going to be Peak Hour, as he's currently still on a lap. On the brakes, down into fourth gear. Off the exit, uses a little bit of the outside curb. Now he's going to make a run towards the line. Puts himself into P2. jump onto the next car here. Comacopa making a run towards the line, and then we're going to go to a Haas of LK. Comacopa up into P3. Haas of LK into 4th. Osmanian Devil jumps him into 4th, now 5th. The Boonster up to P2. LB the Goat got 7/10 of a second gap here. Raptor's making a run towards the line. James and Goose a 1:15. And it looks like the Aston Martin beginning a lap. And Raptor with a 1:11.7 going to slot right in behind the Williams of Comacopa. We have another Mercedes making a run towards the line. That is going to be the Natural here with a 1:11.1 up into P2. So a good lap for him. On the cool down lap, beginning with peak hour, as LB the Goat has drove into pit lane. Not exactly sure if peak hour is planning another lap here, but everybody has gone out for their first run, unless like me or not, is going to be dealing with quite a bit of traffic here heading towards the hairpin of turn 10 and off the exit. 10, making him run through 11, or sorry, that was 12, now heading towards 13 and 14. He is going to have the Sauber in front of him, not close enough to get a tow, but into the chicane wall of champions we go. Towards the start-finish line, really pushing that car, and into P4 he goes with a 1:11.5. So good lap from him. Agnote out here running around in the McLaren. Was not able to get a valid first lap down, so he is currently working his way around. The Boonster on a cool down lap. Peak hour appears to be on a lap as he's making a run into the hairpin. Modern Tide beginning his lap. And peak hour here down the Casino Straight, gonna open up the DRS flap. He is burning some of that ERS, about 10% burn. Down into the chicane we go. Off the exit, got the DRS wide open. He gets really loose off the exit of the Wall of Champions. Comes across the line, and that may have cost him there time-wise, as it appears Raptor is currently on a lap, and he gets a snap of oversteer, a little bit of rear tire spin, and that is going to kill his lap there in the qualifying session. Okay, looks like he is on a lap heading towards the start-finish line now. Is he going to improve up to a full second of improvement, but not any positions gained on the grid? Mr. Miller making a run down the Casino Straight. Modern Tide coming across the line as he makes his exit off of the Wall of Champions. Keeps it to the inside wall, a 1:11.1 onto the front row, right in front of his teammate there. Rocket Man making his way. Mr. Miller is going to slot himself to the front row. Now here comes Rocket Man. DRS flap wide open down the start-finish straight, heading towards the Wall of Champions chicane. Into the braking zone at about 100 meters down the gears. Cuts both chicanes. The Apex is now running towards the start-finish line, and he takes a pole position at a 1:10.3 over LB the Goat. So there you have it. Everybody else just about put down their second run here in qualifying. Osmanian Devil with a 1:11.5 improvement to P7. Comacopa is currently on a lap as he's running into the chicane here of, I want to say 7 and 8. Let me pull up my track map, as the one I'm looking at is one less corner. So 6 and 7, okay, alright. So yeah, making the run through into turn 10 we go with Comacopa off the hairpin. He is going to make a run through 11 and 12 down the Casino Straight. He does have a car in front of him, opens up the DRS flap, and he might be getting a tow off of this Racing Bulls right in front of him here, heading into the Wall of Champions, into the braking zone, off the exit, nice and tidy. Heading towards the start finish line. Does he find a significant amount of improvement? 3/10 of a second improvement up into P7 is Komakopa. Osmanian Devil making a run towards pit lane. James and Goose is not on a lap. And Anyote currently on an out lap. So it is going to be about 35 laps. We do have a dry qualifying, dry Grand Prix here for the evening in the Pro Tier. If you have not tuned in, MMR_hotspot on YouTube does have the Elite Tier races. If you haven't checked one out, feel free to head right on over there and check out an Elite Tier race by MMR Hotspot for the CCRL. And stay tuned for some news coming up for next season. In the meantime, I'll be the GOAT with a purple Sector 1. Making his run through Sector 2 now. He does have a Sauber in front of him. The DRS is wide open into the braking zone through turn 7 or 8 and 9, and he goes around off the exit of 8, and it looks like I'll be the GOAT got a little too much of that curb, and the car did not appreciate that. In the meantime, Raptor is on a lap. James and Goose is going to be beginning a lap. Peak Hour had just started a lap as well. Anyote currently on a lap here as he's making his way through the hairpin. Never mind, he is not on a lap, not burning any ERS. Let's jump on board with Raptor here as he's getting a little bit of snap of oversteer off the exit of turn 9. He's not going to carry as much speed. No, he's going to break out of this and let the racing bulls of who's that drove by him there? That was Rocket Man, who's currently heading on an in lap. But we want to jump onto Peak Hour here, who's currently on a lap. DRS wide open, 4/10 up on his time. Is that going to slide him up the grid? Looking at a 111.2 into the chicane we go. Off the exit, opens up the DRS flap. And now he's going to make a run towards the start finish line. Half a second improvement up to P4. We are with Peak Hour. That'll be the GOAT. 3/10 up on his time. Looking for a potential pole. And Rocket Man is not up on his time here for the time being after Sector 1. That'll be the GOAT into the Wall of Champions chicane. Cuts the inside. Barely keeps it within the track limits. He's now going to make a run towards the start finish line. And a new provisional pole by LB the GOAT. Rocket Man here heading through Sector 2 split. Still not improving. 1.5 down on his time. Natural making a run through Sector 2. And Raptor into the Sector 2 split. And he's currently not up on his time. Anyote just out here running some practice laps. Osmanian Devil beginning a lap. Natural 2.5 up on his time. Purple Sector 1. It is looking at putting him inside the top 4. A little bit more time down the Casino Straight and through Wall of Champions will get him inside the top 3. Down the straight we go. Into the braking zone. He's going to try and keep it nice and tidy. Through Wall of Champions. He gets a little loose off the exit. Heading towards the start finish line. Keeps it to the inside. Down to the 110.9. And you just wonder if that little slip there off the exit of Wall of Champions may have cost him time. Modern Tie here. 2.5 up on his time. Heading towards Sector 2 splits. He's now 6 up on the time. That's going to put him down into the 110.5 range. And this is looking to put him on inside the top 3 here for qualifying. Komakopa currently out on a lap, I would think, in Osmanian Devil here. Gonna jump on board with Modern Tie here as he goes into the Wall of Champions. Really nice cut over the entrance. Gets a little snap off the exit, keeps it tucked to the inside. A 110.5 up into that P3 position is Modern Tie for the evening. And the time being natural here. Currently not on a lap. The booster's not on a lap. But Comacopa in through sector 2 split. Does he have improvement? 45 thousandths of a second. And it looked like somebody jumped up the leaderboard there. I'm not exactly sure who that may have been. Probably Raptor. But anyways, in the meantime, Comacopa is making a run down Casino Straight. 9% ERS left. This is going to be a struggle getting to the start-finish line, as he's going to open up the DRS flap. And heading towards the line we go. And Comacopa up into that P7 position, so must have found a lot of time out of Walla Champions there. Like me or not, I believe he is beginning a lap, or maybe another 2-lap out lap. Rocket Man on an out lap, looking to potentially take over pole here on his final run down. Like me or not, is on a lap, open up the DRS flap through sector 2. He's not going to burn any of that battery down into turns 7 and 8. And he got 10 right in front of him of the hairpin. James and Goose is not on a lap. He's making his way through sector 2. The Haas of LK currently on a cool down lap. Matthew here on an out lap. Let's see here. Let's jump back up to the front here with Rocket Man. Let's see how he's doing through sector 2 split. He was 2.5 tenths up through sector 1, 3.5 tenths up through sector 2. Almost enough for pole, and he gets really into the wall there off the exit of the hairpin. And that is going to cost him maybe his qualifying, and indeed it will. He is going to be missing an end plate. And into pit lane he goes. Rocket Man, unfortunate mistake here in qualifying with 2 minutes to go. De Boonster, who's this? The Alpine around in the hairpin. De Boonster making a run through on a cool down lap. Getting ready to begin a lap. Like me or not, on a cool down lap. James and Goose currently making a run into the outside wall here through the chicane in sector 1. And that's going to be his lap there. And Matthew here currently coming across the line with a 113.5, but it was invalidated. De Boonster beginning a lap. Modern Tie getting ready to begin his final run here in qualifying with 1:20 to go. De Boonster here working his way through sector 1. Into the chicane he goes. Keeps it within the track limits now through turn 5 into 6 and 7. I believe that's 6 and 7. As we're heading through sector 2, up through the gears. He's going to cut well over the inside chicane of turn 8 and 9. Now through sector 2 split, he's 1/4 of a second up on his time. That's going to put him into the 110.4 range. Is he going to be able to find more time to challenge for the pole, or maybe even front row? Modern Tie 44 thousandths, nearly 2 tenths up on his time there through sector 2. And here comes De Boonster making a run, and he's going to invalidate off the exit. Mr. Miller here currently running towards the line. Here comes Modern Tie. Let's jump up here. We got Peak Hour coming across the line. Is he going to find improvement up to P6? And where's the McLaren here? Raptor did not find improvement. Modern Tie, is he going to get it for the pole? No, but he does jump up into that P3 position. De Boonster on a cool down lap. And it looks like, is this natural begin on a lap? Yes, he is. But we got more folks heading towards the line. Comacopa here. Looks like he's not on a lap. Raptor is currently on a lap, but he invalidated. Anyote invalidated. LK dives into pit lane. So Natural, where is he going to cop here? Down the casino straight. He's got about 10% battery left. Into turn off the wall of champions and now towards the start finish line, and Natural's gonna jump his teammate and end up on the front row. So now we got a P2 and 3 for the Mercedes up in the front. Modern Tie is currently not on a lap, and that is going to be the end of your qualifying session here for the Pro Tier. So once again, your qualifying results: LB the Goat will take pole, and then Natural second. In third is Modern Tie, Rocket Man fourth, DeBoonster fifth, Mr. Miller sixth, Peak Hour seventh, Lake Miranot eighth, Coma Copa ninth, Raptor 10th, Osmanian Devil 11th, Undertay 12th, LK 13th, 14th is James and Goose, Bonga is 15th, Matthew is 16th, and Trackside will round out your grid here in the Pro Tier. In the meantime, we are getting ready to roll. About 5 seconds to go in 3 minutes here, and everybody will get their strategies in, and we will be off to the races around Canada. Alright, we have gotten the countdown and we'll begin here with the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out and off for the races we go. Gonna jump on board as Modern Tide got a much better jump than his teammate, the Natural, but he goes really deep into turn 2, and he is gonna have to take runoff and come back onto the circuit. Slowly and down through the grid he goes, all the way to P13. Natural still gonna lose out positions to Rocket Man and to Boonster. And we got a lot of action going on down here at the back of the grid. Modern Tide making his way through, and now a yellow virtual safety car will come out here on lap 1. Canada is going to be known for a lot of misplaced wings and penalties. We got a hard medium or a hard medium tire strategy. So around lap 20 or so we will see pit stops begin. But as we're making our way off the hairpin, we are still under the virtual safety car. And Bonnet received a 3-second corner cutting penalty, and we are back to green flag here off the Wall of Champions, as LB the GOAT will lead us through lap 1 with Rocket Man chasing behind, but the Boonster in 3rd, Natural 4th, Mr. Miller 5th, Like Me or Not in the Aston in 6th, Peak Hour 7th, 8th, Raptor, Comacopa 9th, Modern Tide making his way up through the field. Osmanian Devil making a mistake off the exit of turn 2. And he's going to go to the inside wall. As LK in 11th, so back up through the grid. Like Me or Not has lost the DRS to the trick cars in front, as Mr. Miller is trying to work his way on Natural here. Is he going to attempt a move into the hairpin? Looking ahead as well, nobody is going to be looking to make that move through 10. Peak Hour, though, on the inside of Like Me or Not. Raptor's going to close right back up to the back of him here. Off the exit down the casino straight. Bonget has retired from the session. Off the exit of it appears to be turn 4. And it is going to stay green flag here as we are making our way through Wall of Champions. And up through the grid order we are, with Rocket Man 0.2 of a second off the back of LB the GOAT in through turn 2, and now going to carry us down on lap 3 here. Bonnet has left the session, unfortunately, as he is not looking forward to watching a 35 lap Grand Prix around Canada, and that is going to call an early night for him. We got a train down into the P5 position. Osmanian Devil is going to retire in the pit lane. Very unfortunate night for him as well. Agnote, in the meantime, in the McLaren, is going to keep racing with 21 seconds back here of the cars in front of him, not looking to give up just yet. Plenty of time for another safety car to booster into the back of Rocket Man. Off the exit of the hairpin down the casino straight. We will pull up tires here. We got Rocket Man on a set of hards. He is keeping LB the GOAT within DRS. That is pretty impressive here on the opening lap. Everybody else on a set of mediums, Like Me or Not, on a set of hards as well. So a lot of medium runner tires, or a lot of medium tire runners here. And we are going to jump to position changes. Natural started up on the front row down into P5. Has lost 3 spots already. Modern Tide in P9 looking to work his way back up. A second outside of Raptor has lost 6 spots. He is now back within DRS. So we are going to watch this battle closely up in the front, but we are going to fall back through the grid here as we have a little bit of midfield action. Jackson trackside up into the P13 position. Now he's got some more traffic in front of him. Must have had a front wing change or some damage on the opening lap. He is looking to get the car back underneath him here as he's worked his way off of turn 9, heading toward turn 10. Comacopa under pressure, or no, Raptor is under a lot of pressure from Modern Tie. Modern Tie, side by side, not sure what happened there. And we go wheel banging into Wall of Champions. Not really sure what happened there. I'm thinking somebody tried to squeeze some space into some area he didn't have it and went off the circuit. And it looks like LB the Goat is starting to pull away from Rocket Man here, who Rocket Man on those hard tires is keeping the Boonster and Mr. Miller behind him. As we're working our way through turn 9 in towards the hairpin on lap 5. We got about 31 laps to go. And we have some fighting going on all over the circuit. Trackside's making his way by Matthew. Raptor and Comacopa, a little bit of a wheel bang, and unsafe re-entry by Raptor. And that's going to cause Modern Tie to get jacked up there. And into the chicane we go through Sector 1. So Raptor KK there might be getting a little chit-chatty from the stewards, as that was an unsafe re-entry. In through turn 9, and we got a 3-car battle up in the front of the field. Trackside really making quick work up to P11 as he just worked his way by LK. And it looks like a swap from the Ferraris. Not sure if that was intentional or not. And it looks like the DRS is going to open up for Mr. Miller, putting the attack on Rocket Man here down the casino straight. Natural 2.5 seconds back, not really finding the pace to catch these guys here. But at the front of the field, LB the Goat is open to 1.3 seconds on the medium tire. Rocket Man on a set of hards. And Tie with a 3-second time penalty, compounding problem after problem. Mr. Miller fastest lap here. And now he is looking to put the tack on Rocket Man to see if he can start to mount some pressure on LB the Goat. As we're heading through Sector 1 into Sector 2, we begin off the exit of turn 7. DRS flap wide open, heading towards turn 8 and 9 down the straight. A move going to be made? No. Going to continue to follow right behind as he's got the casino straight. And that's the best place to make a move here as we're heading towards the hairpin of turn 11. And you got the 2 Ferraris with the Racing Bulls here. Hondas versus Ferrari engines. Who is going to have that top speed down the straight? And it appears to be Mr. Miller is going to open up that DRS flap about 14 miles per hour faster to the inside. And he's going to overtake into that P2 position. And now he's got his sights set on the Red Bull right in front of him as he's gaining time down to 1.2 seconds into the braking zone of turn 1. And off goes the Ferrari looking to chase down LB the Goat. Natural here in the Mercedes, losing out on a lot more time. Modern Tie has mountain attack up to Comacopa. He's caught right back up to him after the unsafe re-entry by the McLaren. As we're heading through Sector 1 here. Mr. Miller losing out on a little bit of time to LB the Goat into 8 and 9. Off the exit, we're going to head towards the hairpin now. As Miller used up some of that tire he should not have used up. Into the hairpin we go, looking to get a much better run off the exit 1.3. So he gained about a tenth there through the hairpin down the straight. it appears LB the GOAT might have a little bit more top speed. As the Racing Bulls looking to make a move down to the inside, both of them get into the outside wall. Rocketman with a 3-second penalty looking down the inside of turn 1, and he's now going to regain the lead here with Mr. Miller right behind him. He's under pressure from his teammate as they're going to follow along here into Sector 1. Into the braking zone once again, just watching his teammate, taking two completely different lines as you can tell, but their air does come into play here. Trackside overtaken, and it looks like Matthew may have made a slight mistake off the exit of turn 2. And now Mr. Miller is going to be all over Rocketman here going into the hairpin. Off the exit, DRS flaps are going to come wide open down the long Casino Straight. So far, only one virtual safety car. That was about lap 1. And then ever since then, we've had some great racing here, especially with these podium runners. Natural gets a 3-second time penalty. As we can see, those have started to pile up across the grid. A circuit that is known for it. And through Sector 1 we go. LB the GOAT currently still leading. Has not given up the lead yet. He's qualified on pole and has kind of pulled away a little bit. Peak hour steadily inside the top 10 under pressure from the Mercedes right behind him off the exit of turn 8 or turn 7. PRS flap wide open heading towards turn 8. Modern Tie looks to be conserving battery, gets a tiny clip into that outside wall there. Trackside 7.5 seconds back here in the Racing Bulls. He's gotten him inside the top 10 though. Anyute starting to find some pace up on the back of the grid here. And the Boonster with a 3-second time penalty. Mr. Miller looking to make a move around the outside into turn 1, now the inside of 2. And the switchback potential from the GOAT did not happen. Modern Tie down into turn 1 is going to work his way by peak hour. He's got his sights on the Williams of Comacopa in front of him. And through Sector 1 they go. And somebody went around at the Wall of Champions. That looks to be, like me or not, he is going to be missing an end plate there off the inside wall of Wall of Champions. James and Goose battling with Matthew there through Sector 1, still side by side. And it looks like James and Goose is going to defend the inside line. Comes out on top of that. The Aston Martin right behind him. Going to get the DRS. He is going to pull up to the back of him. We are going to go side by side into the braking zone. And here they are off the exit of 9. And now going to run towards the hairpin. And back to side by side into the braking zone. And a little contact made between the Aston Martin and the Sauber. Off the exit of the hairpin, still side by side. Heading into the Casino Straight. Who's going to get the DRS? And the Aston Martin does. The Sauber is at a disadvantage down this long straight into Wall of Champions chicane. And Matthew will be in that P11 position. James and Goose struggled off the exit of Wall of Champions. Had almost fallen outside of a second range. And indeed he does. Mr. Miller now looking to pounce on Rocketman here down the Casino Straight. Into the hairpin he goes. He's going to pull right up to that rear diffuser. Half a second back. He's got that rear flap getting ready to open up for the DRS. And now down the Casino Straight we go. a half a second, 4.5 tenths back, 4 tenths back into Casino Straight. And now we want to make a run towards the start-finish line. Raptor is going to continue on his way. Peak Hour is the first car to dive into pit lane on lap 13, looking to get off those medium tires. Comacopa's got passed by Modern Tie, and now the two of them are going to battle it out. Natural right in front of them. Might be able to help out his teammate here with a little bit of DRS assistance. Podium runners, everybody with a 3-second time penalty here, up in 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 place position. Off the exit of the hairpin we go. DRS flap is going to open up for the Ferrari of Mr. Miller. He is going to get a run down the Casino Straight to the inside of the Racing Bulls. And in front, he is going to be into the Wall of Champions chicane off the exit. He is going to get the double DRS dosage here in towards turn 1. And now Mr. Miller into P2 with Rocket Man chasing behind him in a Ferrari sandwich because the Boonster's not too far back. Comacopa, and it looks like Modern Tie is going to dive into pit lane, get off of his medium tires onto a set of hards in that P8 position. As these folks are making their way through Sector 2, this is helping Mr. Miller. He did get DRS there down into turn 8 and 9. And it looks like he might get the DRS. Yes, he will. Off the exit of the hairpin here. The Ferrari will have DRS to protect himself from the cars behind. But this also does help him chase down the Red Bull in front as well, as they're down to 1.5 seconds back into Wall of Champions chicane. And here comes Mr. Miller. He's looking to gain some more time, 1.3. And into turn 1 we go. The lapper here is really helping out these leaders. On board with Rocket Man, pretty low on some ERS here for the Racing Bulls. Down to Peak Hour, who's starting to put the pressure on the Aston Martin of Matthew right in front of him. Okay, with a 10-second penalty for speeding into pit lane. Will the Red Bull of LB the GOAT get DRS, or no, the Ferrari and Mr. Miller, he does have DRS to your race leader, Rocket Man, as well in the picture. And so isn't the Boonster, as we're all heading towards Wall of Champions here. LB the GOAT's going to jump into pit lane, and that is going to carry on with the Boonster as well. The Boonster with a 10-second penalty into pit lane for speeding. That isn't good for him. And so, okay, also with a 10-second penalty for speeding into pit lane, not good for him as well. So that is going to affect the Boonster's end of the Grand Prix, but he can hope to hold up the Red Bull in front of him here as they just came out of pit lane. Modern Tie does work his way by Natural, who is off of his exit out of pit lane. LB the GOAT 8.5 tenths back from Comacopa. Rocket Man 2 tenths back, 2.5 tenths back from Mr. Miller in front of him. Making our way off the exit of the hairpin. Down the Casino Straight we go. Burning the ERS, the DRS flap wide open. Gonna go down his inside. down the casino straight. A little bit of contact between the two. And that throws Mr. Miller into pit lane. Wonder if he was early or if that was called what he wanted. LB the Goat works his way by Comacopa. Comacopa on a set of hard tires is going to continue on with his day in that P4 position. But the Boonster did not get DRS there. Mr. Miller is going to be coming out in the P5 position, right next to his teammate as they make their way off the exit of turn 1. So now Mr. Miller in P5 with about a lap and a half, 2 laps fresher tires than some of the cars in front of him. Rocket Man is staying out on the hard still to this point. And we got a car around. That appears to be Like Me or Not. The Boonster works his way by Comacopa, and now we have a virtual safety car. And Like Me or Not gets a disqualification for parked the wrong way. So we are under a virtual safety car. This is the perfect time for some people to bot. And this actually kind of gives Rocket Man a free pit stop here on the medium tires. And now LB the Goat is going to be right behind him. Although his tires are kind of worn in up to temperature just about. They are going to be under a full course safety car here. Still under safety car here, waiting for the folks to catch back up, and then we will get going once again. Andrete out here making a mistake to let everybody by him. Wants to be that lapper. That is a lap down. Safety car is gonna be on their way in. Rocket Man will be leading us back to green flag here at the exit of the Wall of Champions, and he's gonna back up the field as much as he can to put the power down. Into the chicane we go, and a 10-second penalty to Matthew for collision with Raptor, and we are back under green, heading towards turn 1, and it looks like a very well-timed LB the GOAT right behind your race leader of Rocket Man. Rocket Man, the only driver here inside the top 10 though, on a set of medium tires. Everybody else on a set of hards, I believe. Oh, Komakopa on a set of mediums as well. Could lead to potentially an exciting finish here. It's going to be quite the drive for those tires. Modern Tire losing out 2 positions down into P7. Already under pressure. Komakopa into P6. Looking to put the pressure on Natural in front of him as we head into the hairpin. Off the exit we go. Now down the Casino Straight. Gonna have about 2 trains separated here. DRS reactivated. On your 3-second time penalty. We are over halfway through the Canadian Grand Prix here. LB the GOAT led your first half of the Grand Prix until the safety car came out. And now Rocket Man on a set of medium tires for the next 18 laps or so. Gonna try and hold off a red hot LB the GOAT who's just about locked up the championship heading into the final rounds of the season. Will be making a change next season, moving up into the elite tier to race for the elite tier money. And we're making our way through Wall of Champions. Rocket Man with another 3-second time penalty, really hindering himself here. And LB the GOAT with the fastest lap of a 112.2. And through turn 2 of the hairpin, we're going to make our way through sector 1, and we got quite a battle going for your race lead on track. Everybody working their way through sector 2 now. Not much going on really between everybody. Trackside here inside the top 10 has had kind of a rough start, quiet afternoon to the race. Started in P17, worked his way into the top 10 now, looking to put the pressure on Raptor in front of him as they're heading into the hairpin. Really heavy on the brakes. Gonna back out, goes for a move down the inside, and both of them have gone around, or Raptor makes a mistake, and that put trackside into a mistake. So trackside's got quite a bit of time to make back up again. LB the GOAT still racing in second place. Knows he does not need to overtake on the leader, as the leader has 6 seconds in penalties. Mr. Miller here, chasing after his teammate, the Boonster. I'm not exactly sure if they both have. Let's see what their pens are. 16 and 3. Might want to potentially look at a potential position swap at some point between the two Ferraris. But Milla is really trying to put the pressure on his teammate here as we come down the Casino Straight. To the inside, the Ferrari goes into the braking zone. And he is going to overtake his teammate into P3. I'll be the GOAT. Does get around Rocket Man. Copa with a 3-second time penalty. Natural, Modern Tie, and Copa are all battling for position. Mr. Miller with another 3-second time penalty, so he will be battling even with Rocket Man here, both with 6 seconds in penalties. So Miller needs to find a way to gain some time here, 2.5 seconds back. Rocket Man was looking to make a move on the Red Bull in front of him, off the exit of the hairpin. That does allow Miller to kind of close up the gap about a half a second there. He's down into that P3 position for the Ferrari. He's now losing time down the Casino Straight due to the DRS. And I'm assuming LB the GOAT was probably burning to defend off the Racing Bulls. Natural. DRS on Copa in front of him here for the P5 position to try and get inside the top 5. Not much gonna go there. We're on lap 25 of 31 here at Canada. Mr. Miller 2.2 seconds back. Broke the DRS from his teammate. As now they're gonna run through sector 2 down into turn 8 and turn 9. Off the exit of the chicane, heading towards the hairpin of turn 10. We're gonna come across the sector 2 split, and indeed we do, as we head into the hairpin. And we get a virtual safety car with an incident through the Wall of Champions from LK. This is gonna help out Rocket Man here to save some of that rubber on those tires. I'll be the GOAT. 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings under virtual safety car. That's not very good for him. Still under the virtual safety car with less than 10 laps to go now. And virtual safety car has gone away, and Agnote gives himself a drive-through penalty. LB the GOAT is kind of driving away with this now at the front of the grid. He does have a 3-second penalty to Mr. Miller's 6 seconds with DeBoons for 16. Rocket Man here down in P9 on a set of new tires. Not exactly sure why he decided to bot there. And now LB to go out front, 3 seconds clear of Mr. Miller here. Closest battle on track that has been a battle all evening has been Copa Natural Modern Tie. Peak Hour is slowly creeping his way into the picture here, just outside of the DRS range. They're making their way through turns 6 and 7 now. Gonna head down the DRS straight towards 8 and 9. Komakopa in that P4 position. Canada is a tough track to race at. As you can see, we got penalties across the board. Off the exit of Wall of Champions, nearly a half a second separating Natural, Komakopa, and Modern Thai. Komakopa in that P4 position. The two Mercedes right behind him, chasing him down here. We are into the hairpin, and it looked like Natural went a little deep there. Not going to get much of a run off the exit. Still within that DRS range. Following these three here, proceeding on lap 28. Your leader is going to begin lap 29 now. Natural with another 3 seconds. So Modern Thai will be overtaking his teammate, but Peak Hour within 3 seconds behind him. Through the chicane to the next DRS zone we go with your Mercedes and your Williams. We have quite the fight here going on as they're closing up to the back of the Boonster, who's right in front of him with 22 seconds in penalties. Rack those ones up tonight. FIA loading by Little Mo. That is correct. We kind of had a strange race, but I'd say some pretty good racing all across the board. A few mistakes from some drivers, but other than that, I'd say they had a kind of decent race here. Raptor down the inside of Peak Hour, gonna overtake, and he's gonna move up a position. Modern Thai to the inside of his teammate. A little bit of contact there. Modern Thai getting a little impatient, wanting to attack Komakopa. But he is going to back out and continue to follow along. Rocket Man has caught up to the back of Peak Hour. As now he's going to be lunging down the inside of the Alpine. And both of them will come out of that unscathed. As we're now making our way through the chicane. And into the hairpin we go. Natural still going to put pressure on Komakopa. Modern Thai has dropped off a little bit slightly there. We're going to continue to head down the casino straight. Natural through the inside into that P4 position. Rocket Man's going to overtake on Raptor. And up into P8 he goes, or P7 he goes. Now Komakopa's going to be under pressure from Modern Thai as they make their way off the exit of turn 2. On lap 31 of 35, and we have a battle on our hands between P4, P5, and P6. And these guys have been doing this for about 31 laps and not giving each other any breathing room as we continue to do this. over the course of the remainder of the Grand Prix. And it looks like a mistake from the Mercedes, trying to make a move on Comacopa, who is now going to lose time out. Rocket Man's going to work his way through as well. Trackside with a penalty. And it looks like the whole grid tonight has gained penalties for track limits. Raptor here. As we're heading across the start-finish line on lap 32. Mr. Miller now 1.5 seconds back, patiently and slowly been trying to close up that gap to LB the GOAT. Penalty-wise, it is still 3-6. LB the GOAT still has a few laps to not get that pen. Mr. Miller is going to try and force him into it. He's 1.3 seconds back, looking to chase him down. 32 out of 35 laps completed. And we are beginning to close up here. Ferrari versus Red Bull. Down the Casino Straight, 1.2 seconds. Is the Red Bull gonna keep it clean here to not get any more pens? Into turn 1 we go. Off the exit, nearly 1 second separating the two. Comacopa looking to place an attack on Natural. Peak hour getting by Raptor. Raptor's gonna try and hold it around the outside. Now to the inside of turn 2, still side by side. And it looks like Raptor's going to come out on top here in this fight for the P8 position. And we're going to go back up towards the front here as Mr. Miller has caught up within DRS of LB the GOAT here. He's looking to chase him down into the hairpin of turn 10. Off the exit we go. We got about 3/4 of a second separating. Now a 1/2 second heading down the Casino Straight. DRS flap is going to open up. Here comes the Ferrari looking to put the pressure on the Red Bull. Is the Red Bull going to be pushed into a mistake to another track limit penalty? Off the exit of Wall of Champions, now making the run towards the penultimate lap we go. And here comes the Ferrari peeking down to the inside of turn 1. He's wisely going to choose to back out and continue to follow along. Comacopa 7/10 back from Natural. Not much going on there. In the meantime, on the penultimate lap, we got the Ferrari battling the Red Bull of LB the GOAT, your championship leader, as we're heading into turn 6 and 7. And off the exit down the DRS straight, the DRS flap is going to open up from the Ferrari. Peeking to the inside of turn 8. And the Red Bull's going to slide right in front of him and continue on their way. Trackside with the fastest lap of a 1:11.7. Heading towards the hairpin of turn 10. And it looks like LB the GOAT's going to continue on, defending off Mr. Miller. Down the Casino Straight. Mr. Miller is going to try and push the Red Bull into a mistake here to the left-hand side down the Casino Straight using DRS to his advantage. Mr. Miller has taken over the lead of the Grand Prix. He's now going to get DRS towards turn 1, trying to get the toe from the Sauber in front of him to begin the final lap here in through turn 2. Is he going to have the tire advantage? I'm not exactly sure. He needs to break out of DRS and pull a 3 seconds on the Red Bull. Is the Red Bull going to be pushed into a mistake? Are we racing here for the win on the circuit or not? Time penalty coming into play, as it looks like LB the GOAT needs to stay within 3 seconds. And LB the GOAT through turn 9, heading towards the hairpin. He is going to get DRS down the casino straight. Mr. Miller trying to break that toe, was unable to be successful at it. Off the exit of turn 10. Now down the casino straight for the final time here. Looks like Comacopa is going to be battling with Rocket Man, looking to defend him off down the casino straight. Rocket Man around the outside of the hairpin. He's going to overtake Mr. Miller and LB the Goat side by side through the Wall of Champions. And it looks like Miller's going to take it on the track, but LB the Goat will take it in regards to penalties. And your follow-up podium finisher is going to be the Natural with Rocket Man. And Comacopa will finish on the podium. Natural P4, P5, Modern Tide, P6, Rocket Man. 7th Raptor, 8th is Peak Hour, 9th is the Boomster. Trackside making his run towards Wall of Champions, and he's going to come across and make his finish here on his return into 10th place. Matthew in 11th. And James and Goose and Anyote will come across the line to end this. And Matthew is still slowly making his way around the circuit. Matthew out here just enjoying himself. And there you have it. That is your grand finale here. So your final results, I'll be the GOAT on top. Mr. Miller second, Comacopa third, Natural fourth, Modern Tide fifth, Raptor sixth, Peak Hour seventh, The Boomster eighth, Trackside ninth, 10th is Matthew. 11th, Rocket Man, James Goose 12th, Anyote 13th, LK 14th, 15th is Osmanian Devil, 16th, Bonga Like Me or Not is in 17th. So that is your race results there, folks. Well, folks, I am Johnny Damon. That was a fantastic race. Tune in next week for Singapore, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night. Wednesday night we'll be taking on MMR Hotspot's YouTube channel. And check out the Elite Tier on Thursday morning when that gets posted. In the meantime, actually, there is no racing for Elite Tier this week. In the meantime, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Happy Thanksgiving to you Americans, and I will see you all next week. Take care, safe travels, and enjoy your Thanksgiving.